You know, all my favourite franchises seem to be having huge anniversaries this year. With Digimon turning 25 years old, Kingdom Hearts has just had its 20th anniversary that we did Digimon Partners for, and my probably favourite video game of all time, Final Fantasy VII, turned 25 years old this year.
I'm old, Gandalf. I know I don't look it, but I'm beginning to feel it in my heart.
With Crisis Core Reunion and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth being announced alongside the upcoming release of the Ever Crisis mobile game. So yeah, today we're going to be giving Final Fantasy VII characters Digimon partners. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to my channel, and if it's not welcome back, well, you'd better hit that subscribe button before Meteor hits the planet. Nothing like threatening people with an impending apocalypse, based on a video game.
There it is again, that funny feeling.
And yes, Final Fantasy VII Digimon partners. For this video, I've elected to do all the party members in the original FF7, so not just the FF7 remake party members that we've had so far, plus a couple of villains on the tail end. I originally intended to do the Turks, or at least Reno and Rude, but I think as some Turks play a much bigger role in Crisis Core, I'm going to save them as a group for when I do a Crisis Core Digimon partners video closer to when Crisis Core Reunion comes out, which by the way I am super excited for. I love Crisis Core. So let's begin with our amnesiac faux soldier, Cloud Strife. Initially for Cloud, I wanted to reference the Buster Sword, the dreams and honour it represents as handed down from Angeal to Zack and then Cloud. As such, I think it would be quite fitting to give Cloud the rookie Spartamon. According to the reference book, Spartamon is one of the legendary Legend arms, who according to legend, they really said legend that many times, weird, who according to legend, if held by an angel will save the world, and if held by a demon will destroy the world. Although its personality is earnest and serious, it has a side that is weak to pressure. Its combat abilities are low, but shows its true merits once it becomes a weapon. So I think those themes of angels and demons of course tie very well into Cloud, Sephiroth, the whole FF7 story, and I think Spardamon's earnest and serious personality definitely echoes with Cloud, especially in FF7 and Advent Children. It also is a kind of blue and white bestial creature, which will lead us very well into Cloud's champion, the Blue Wolf, and other member of the Legend Arms, Tia Ludamon. The Tia in its name is a Japanese romanization of Tyr, the Norse god of justice, who sacrificed his hand to the monstrous wolf Fenrir. And of course, Fenrir is the name of Cloud's motorcycle in Advent Children, as well as the name of the wolf insignia and literal wolf that is seen following Cloud throughout that movie. Tia Ludamon will then become Beowulfmon, which continues our wolf theme and carries a big sword, very on brand for Cloud. Hell, it's even blonde, kinda. Plus, we do have some more tenuous connections. One of Beowulfmon's attacks is called Zweihander, which is an obtainable weapon in Urgite's God Bless the Ring, in which Cloud was a guest character, and Beowulf's namesake, Beowulf, also gave its name to Beowulf Cadmus, a recruitable character in Final Fantasy Tactics, and guess what? Cloud is also a recruitable character in that game. Cannot believe I got to bring up Urgite's God Bless the Ring in a Digimon video. Impeccable. I love being me. And then to bring it all home, Cloud's Beowulfmon will digivolve to the Mega Ancient Garurumon. Again, keeping our wolf and big sword theme going. And of course, Ancient Garurumon is the progenitor of the powers Beowulfmon possesses. Let me tell you, Victory Greymon with its giant sword was also very tempting. Next up is our one-armed, gun-firing freedom fighter for the planet, Barret Wallace, and I began by giving him the rookie Systemon Blank. This might seem a little odd at first, but FF7 fans will likely already have identified this as a big reference to Barret's daughter, Marlene, who is a key motivator for Barret's entire story. But its bunny ears, kinda, will lead it slightly better into Gargomon. And yes, I am aware that Gargomon, Terriermon, its whole line are actually based on dogs, but to this day in my comments, I still see people who are like, well, no, actually, it's a rabbit, because Terriermon and Lopmon are intentionally made to look similar, even though Terriermon, Terrier, is a dog, and Lopmon, Lop, is a bunny. Literally, probably a day ago, I got a comment on a video where I called Terriermon or something a dog, and someone goes, dog? Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the gun-toting Gargomon is perfect for Barret here, and while I did consider Terriermon as its rookie, I just think Systemon Blank makes for a more interesting, less default line. Then Barret's Gargomon will become Volcamon. This might seem a little bit left field, but I chose Volcamon to reference Barret's brash, sometimes loud nature, as well as his larger build. Plus, the volcano exploding out of its back is a good allegory for Barret and Avalanche blowing up reactors, and while it doesn't have gun arms or anything, there is that one boxing glove weapon, Rocket Punch, in the original FF7, so I'm happy enough with Volcamon. And to make up for the lack of guns here, the Mega just had to be Gundramon. I don't think I've been able to use this in a video as a partner yet, so why not give the peak in Digimon design arm to the teeth to good old Mr. Wallace. Alright, moving over to the 7th Heavens barmaid and Cloud's childhood friend, Tifa Lockhart. I have given her Gaomon. Obviously its punching focus suits the melee fighting Tifa very well, but also kind of makes for a nice match with Cloud's Spartamon and Wolfie Beastie Evolution line. This champion would then be Dolphinmon. This is due to Tifa's seemingly huge connection to dolphins. From Mr. Dolphin and the Priscilla CPR minigame to Tifa's original FF7 Limit Break Dolphin Blow, her FF7 remake Limit Break Dolphin Flurry, and even her hair design in the original official art resembling a dolphin tail. But we will then lose those dolphin themes, just like Tifa's other Limit Breaks do, by having the ultimate be Mamemon. Again, bringing back the melee theme, but also with very similar gloves to Tifa, and an overall tough but cute vibe that seems in line with her, before finally becoming Bancho Lilymon. This is probably my least favourite pick, but I just think it fits Tifa's personality a lot better than some other mega contenders. I personally think something like Venusmon or Lilithmon would be reductive and not fit her particularly well, and Mervamon and Minervamon are a little bit too weapon focused for the very punching and kicking non-weapon Tifa. So yeah, Bancho Lilymon. While it does attack with a kind of yo-yo, it's still more of a kind of street brawler, which I think is definitely in line with Tifa as a character. But if you've got other suggestions, please do let me know down below, as always. Moving over to our descendant of the Cetra, we have Aerith Gainsborough. I have given her the rookie Cutemon. I think this is in part to reference Aerith's pink palette, but also her role in the party as the healer, because according to the reference book, Cutemon has the ability to heal wounds, and if it's in the vicinity of an injured Digimon, it will come closer, taking care not to be noticed and heal that Digimon. Its scratches and cuts are already healed before it realizes what's going on, due to Cutemon's cute and mischievous nature. This cute and mischievous nature, I think, also aligning well with Aerith, who likes to hop from rooftop to rooftop just to keep people like the Turks on their toes. Her Cutemon will then become Leomon, and yes, this is because, spoilers for a 25-year-old video game, you've had time by this point, both Leomon and Aerith kind of get murdered. Leomon also possesses a strong purpose and a heart of justice, and gives us the same kind of connection Gaomon gave Tifa, both potential loves of Cloud having a wolf or bestial stage to their Digimon partner, just like Cloud's line. I personally am more of a Tifa Cloud guy. I think they are endgame, but that's just my opinion, don't come for me, shippers. Aerith Leomon will then kinda do a whole 180 and become Angelwomon, because, well, Aerith is pretty much an angelic woman, especially once she's dead. And then finally will become Magnadramon, or specifically the name Holy Dramon in the JP. This I think caps off the line really nicely, as it folds in the beast elements of Leomon and the angelic side of Angelwomon, but its Japanese name Holy Dramon also lets us tie in the holy materia that Aerith is in possession of throughout most of FF7. Before, you know, Sephiroth Leomons her. Sorry again. Well, on that dark note, let's move over to the other experiment of Hojo, Red 13. Red 13 was tough being an animal, but given his intellect and capability for human speech, I think he should have a Digimon partner. Plus, I want to, and it's my video, so... Red 13's rookie will be Lylemon. I like this because it looks like a little Red 13, which we can use as a reference to Red 13's children from the epilogue of Final Fantasy VII. Also a fun connection is Lylemon is a reasonably common Leomon rookie, which cements Red 13's connection to Aerith. Not that kind of connection though, Hojo, you pervert! Lylemon's champion will be Black Gatomon, as just a straight up reference to Kachi, who ends up riding on Nanaki and Advent Children. And the ultimate will then be Flaremon as a full-on visual match to Red 13, before finally becoming Apollomon. Aside from the sort of Fire Beast connection, I honestly love this pick because I think an Olympos 12 Digimon, the group that specifically uses the Roman numeral for 12, being partnered with Red 13 whose nickname is spelled very specifically with the Roman numeral 13, is very funny. They can't all be bangers is all I'm saying. Okay, on to the next one. And that is our materia hunter and child of Wutai, Yuffie Kisaragi, who of course had to get the overly ninja-themed Falcomon 2006, which will then continue that theme by becoming the even more ninja-y Igamon. But also I like it because Yuffie is short and Igamon is a pretty short champion. I did however also consider Peckmon and even Shurimon, but again I wanted to use Igamon because I haven't used it much in these videos, plus it will act as I think a more natural transition to the ultimate Asuramon. And Asuramon is a huge reference to one of the most iconic landmarks of Wutai, the Dachau statue. Both Asuramon and the Dachau statue have heavy ties to real-world Buddhism, both being linked to the concept of Buddhist titans with 3 heads, often carved from rock. And then finally the Mega will be Gigasidramon, and this might seem somewhat of an odd pick. If you're not a huge FF7 head, Asuramon to Gigasidramon feels like really random, super V-petty. But this is again to reference key parts of Yuffie's character and background, and as such is a reference to the Leviathan summon, the signature summon of Wutai and the materia that is won by defeating the 5 gods of the Wutai Pagoda, specifically defeating Yuffie's father, Godo, and having a heart-to-heart, after which he gives her the Leviathan materia. And then is Kochi, I grew up calling it Cait Sith. I'm almost entirely sure calling it Kachi now is also wrong, but just give me a break here. Spent an entire childhood calling it Cait Sith, and now I've got to get used to Kochi or whatever. I'm sorry. Anyway, yes, it is Kachi, or should I say Reeve Tuesti. Reeve and Kachi's whole deal confused the hell out of me as a kid, specifically the level of sentience the Kachi robot has without Reeve controlling it. But anyway, we do know universal truths across the character's journey that will inform this pick. First of all, its rookie will be the standard grade Appmon Telemon. Yeah, I'm just going to straight up use Appmon going forward if I think they work, because I think they're cool. So, sorry. Telemon looks kinda cat-like, which is great, but also of course is a fortune teller, exactly like Kachi was when we first encountered him at the Gold Saucer. And then Telemon will digivolve to Porcupamon. This is a puppet Digimon, very sort of creepy and industrial, very reminiscent of the Shinra company. I would like something kinda cat-like for the champion though, so we could also consider Mikemon or Gatomon, because Gatomon was kind of a double agent kind of in Digimon Adventure initially, but I do like Porcupamon here because we don't get to use it as much. Its perfect will then be Betsumon. This referencing Reeve being the man inside the cat, if you will, and the kind of creepy, goofy nature of Kachi's entire character. But I also do like XIII as a pick here. A puppet Digimon, again lining up really nicely with Reeve puppeting Kachi, and in turn Kachi puppeting the giant Moogle, which XIII's pink coloration and overall largeness references. But again with something creepy or sinister inside, that being Reeve and by proxy the entire company of Shinra. So Betsumon or XIII, whichever you prefer. And then finally the Mega will be Cherubimon Virtue. I see this big, cute, fluffy pink Mega as being Reeve absolved of his sins by actions like the sacrifice of the robot cat and Moogle in the Temple of the Ancients, and also in general his assistance of Avalanche. But Cherubimon Virtue of course does have its inverse in Cherubimon Vice, which the tricksy Kachi and Reeve might spill over into now and again. Alright, now let's talk about our genetic super freak Vincent Valentine. I've given him the rookie Dracmon due to Vincent's overt vampire theme in FF7. Homie even sleeps in a coffin. But the champion will be Sealsdramon, this being a continued reference to his darkness, but also Vincent's time as a member of the Turks, a more elite squad style of darkness, and viciousness over the more bestial power of Vincent later on. And as such, Vincent's ultimate will be Astamon, a demon prince, but of course also toting a gun, just like Vincent himself. I also see this as being a reference to Vincent's first and kind of main limit break form, Galleon Beast. And then finally Astamon will become the Mega Beelzemon, another key gun-toting Digimon, and could kind of be a reference to any of Vincent's limits, I guess. Also, while Vincent never becomes angel-winged like Sephiroth, Genesis, etc., he was still subjected to a similar kind of experimentation, and even gained wings when he achieved his Chaos form in FF7 and Dirge of Cerberus, which would line up nicely with Beelzemon Blast Mode. Hell, well, of course Chaosmon has never been formed of Beelzemon. Perhaps we could have Vincent Ultra be a Chaosmon Beelzebub mode, just to really cap off the references. Digimon, give me some kind of Jason Voorhees Digimon, please, so I can reference the best limit break in Final Fantasy history, Hellmasker. Thank you very much. And our final party member, but not final character for this video, is the foul-mouthed pilot, Cid Highwind. For his rookie, I get to use a brand new Digimon, who I think by the time this video has gone out still hasn't debuted in the anime or anything, but that is our new Digimon for Ghost Game and the Dim cards, Espimon. This little rocket Digimon I just couldn't resist giving to the Rocketeer Cid, and this Digimon is so new that we don't even have full color official art for it yet, so the art you're seeing on screen right now is by Dry, instead of the grayscale manga or Dim card images we currently have. So shout out to Dry and the person who commissioned him to make Espimon for letting me use this art. Go give Dry a follow on Twitter, please. And then I will have Cid's Espimon become Blimpmon, this being more of a reference to the Highwind itself and other flying vehicles Cid pilots in the games that specifically aren't rockets. And then Blimpmon will become Chohakaimon. This might seem a little odd, but I think as a feminine Digimon, it's a fun reference to Cid's girlfriend, I think, and rocket scientist Shera. Chohakaimon brandishes a kind of polearm similar to Cid's arsenal of weapons, and its name is Roketo Dingpa, which literally means rocket rake, and its attack is powered up with rocket boosters, pretty perfect, before finally becoming the Mega Gallantmon. Gallantmon again of course brandishes a giant polearm, this time a lance, which perfectly matches our Dragoon or Lancer type class Cid. And Gallantmon also rides on top of Grani, which folds in more of our piloting, flying etc. themes throughout Cid's line. And then moving over to the villains, for this time I am just going to do 2 villains, but like I say, we have so much more potential in the FF7 and Final Fantasy world, Crisis Core, Ever Crisis, things like that, so we will do more people like say the Shinra presidents in future, but for now let's begin with our first, Professor Hojo, who naturally will have the rookie fake Agumon expert, a lying, evil, fake professor, literally perfect for the devious Hojo. Shout out to Lambo Calrissian for the assist on that pick. This rookie will then become Darugamon. This is an experiment or prototype Digimon which works with Hojo and his countless experiments. Its beast nature could also reference Red 13 again as another experiment of Hojo. Darugamon would then become Chimeramon, furthering Hojo's awful experiments on creatures and humans alike. I think this feels just like a perfect fit for him, before finally becoming Millenniummon. Of course a very common Chimeramon evolution, but it also folds in the technology and robotics of Machindramon, which I think could be seen as allegorical to the industrial machinations of the Shinra company Hojo works inside of. Millenniummon is also associated with world-ending events, its name referencing the fear around the Y2K bug, and Hojo is not exactly shy from being part of potentially world-ending events himself. And then finally, as our villain of the piece, the erstwhile son of Genova himself, I'm going to give Sephiroth the rookie Arcadimon to reference his origins as an experiment created from Genova cells. Both Sephiroth and Arcadimon being experiments and combinations of genetics or data, depending on which character you're talking about. But for this Arcadimon, its champion form will be Yaxamon. This would, I think, represent the potential good in Sephiroth. Yaxamon's training swords being allegorical to his training and time at Shinra before learning of his nature and falling to evil. But Yaxamon is still masked and guarded, just like Sephiroth would have been, to keep others out. The ultimate will then be Karatenmon, still wielding 2 swords, but training swords have become proper blades, and this Demon Man Digimon, with its black wings, denotes the beginning of Sephiroth's fall to become the One-Winged Angel. And yes, of course, we could have used Sephirothmon here, but apart from the name Sephirothmon, I'm not giving that bloody abomination to my boy Sephiroth. And finally, Karatenmon will become the Mega Tactimon, a fully fallen to darkness Demon Man Digimon, a tactician, and of course a swordsman. I think this is a more logistical partner for Sephiroth, on a cunning intellect and swordsman level, but I also think a terrifying world-ending Digimon like Hojo's Millenniummon, a Badamon, etc. would also be pretty cool here. And yes, I did also consider Ravemon from Karatenmon, because of course it has 1 black wing, just like Sephiroth, but ultimately I just didn't think it was evil enough for Sephiroth overall, so Tactimon it is. And that is it, my picks for Digimon partners for the Final Fantasy VII party members and a couple of bad guys too. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which Final Fantasy game would you like to see me give partners to next? Or which game or movie within the compilation of Final Fantasy VII would you like to see? I love talking about Final Fantasy. I'm considering doing more Final Fantasy stuff over on my second channel, Karn EX, which you should definitely be checking out because we are doing a ton of gameplay videos over there right now. We're about to hit 10,000 subscribers, so that's going to be super cool. Huge shout outs to my Sovereign ZDK14 as well as everyone else you can see on this screen right now. The video below me will be a link to Karn EX, so please do go check that out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.